Buying a home? Don't panic. Just listen to the rest of this podcast. Welcome to Home Inspection Authority's Straight Talk Podcast with me, John LaForme. Are you a home buyer, a realtor, or maybe a home inspector? If you are, then this podcast is definitely for you. So let's get right into some straight talk about home inspections. Okay, John here, and welcome to episode 5. Episode 5 topic is going to be about exterior doors, and I want this episode to be directed more towards home inspectors as to what to look for when you're inspecting exterior doors. Oftentimes, during my home inspections, I find doors that are installed backwards. When you open the door, it opens outward to the outside. And some doors are designed to do that, but the majority of what I find are not. And it turns out they're pre-hung doors that were designed to open inward towards the house. So you walk into the door, into the house. And whoever decided to install it, you know what, let's have it open outwards. Maybe the homeowner requested it, or maybe that guy just thought it was a good idea, whoever installed it. So I just want to point something out. This comes with problems if you overlook this on your home inspections. So the reason for that is if I buy a door from a retailer or Home Depot, Lowe's, or a specialty door company, and I bought a door that's designed to have an inward swing, which means it's going to open into the home. And then I decide, you know what, screw that. I'm just going to install this so it opens out. Well, you're probably going to void the warranty on the door because it just wasn't installed correctly, and it wasn't designed to be installed to open outward. So if you overlook this on a home inspection, you could run into a problem down the road if that door fails in a short amount of time, and you get a phone call from the home buyer, your client, and saying, hey, why didn't you tell us these doors are installed backwards? Because now we can't get any money from the warranty. The manufacturer won't warranty the door because it wasn't installed correctly. This is a situation I hate to see you run into. And the reason why I brought this up in this episode is because I see this quite often. And when I bring it up to customers and to realtors, they all look at me like I'm crazy. Well, what do you mean it's backwards? I have to explain it and show them the difference between what's right and what's wrong. And it's hard to do that through a podcast right now without a visual aid to show you. So I am going to make a YouTube video about this so I can actually show you the differences. So when I make that video, hopefully within the next week, I will actually add a link to that video in the description on this podcast episode. So the best way to figure out if the door is actually installed backwards is by looking at the door jamb thickness. On a typical pre-hung door where the door opens inward towards the home, you'll notice that the outer door jamb is about 1.25 inches thick all the way around the right and left side and the top. And if you look at the inside of that door jamb, where the door jamb meets the door and the hinges, that's typically only about 3/4 inch thick. The reason for the thickness difference from the outside jamb to the inside jamb is for security reasons. So if the thinner door jamb was facing the exterior, right where the hinges are, somebody could easily hack into that door jamb and break off those hinges if they really wanted to get into the house. So the door jamb thickness is the number one thing I look at when I see a door that may be installed backwards. Then I look at the hinges. Now, the hinges do play an important role in this for a door that might be installed backwards because if it's got interior hinges on it, then that means you can pop the pins out in each hinge and literally remove the doors from the outside, probably without breaking anything. So in the case where a door is designed to open outward, they're going to use what's called security hinges. The security hinges have two different types that I've seen so far. There may be more I'm not aware of. The one main type is a hinge with a Allen head set screw that's positioned in the middle of the hinge that you can only access when the door's open. So if the door is locked, there's no way someone's going to get to these hinges. There's a different type of hinge with a male stub sticking out of one side of the hinge. And on the other side of that hinge, there's a hole in the hinge. And that requires you to drill a small hole into the door so that when the door closes, the male and female connect together. And that causes a condition where you cannot lift the door off the hinges from the outside. You would have to open the door hinge to remove the door. Another part of the door assembly that I look at when I'm trying to determine if the door is installed correctly is the sill, or the threshold, as some people call it. That's the part of the door at the bottom where you step on to walk into the house or out of the house. That there has to be designed a certain way for a door that opens to the exterior. The same way it does for a door that opens for the interior. There are two different sills for two different applications. So the three things I'm looking at are the thickness of the jambs, inside and outside. Do we have the correct hinges? And is the sill plate correct for the application I'm looking at? Another fun fact for you is to understand that most manufacturers, maybe all manufacturers, are going to require that all 6 sides of the door are painted or sealed. So that means the top and bottom, the right and left side, and the front facing and the interior facing part of the door. All that needs to be painted to keep the warranty. If you happen to have a door failure for whatever reason, and you call the manufacturer to come out and look at the door, that representative is going to bring probably a little mirror with him, and him or her, and they're going to take that mirror and look at the bottom of the door and the top of the door to see if you painted it or sealed it. And if you did not, there's no warranty. So keep that in mind. If you are installing new doors on your house, make sure all 6 sides are painted or sealed to avoid that problem with the manufacturer. Okay, so the takeaways from this episode are: make sure you buy the right doors if you're installing new doors on your house. Make sure they're installed correctly, according to the manufacturer. And make sure you paint all 6 sides of the door. As for you home inspectors out there, pay close attention to these types of situations when you get to a house and the doors seem to be opening outward. You're going to find some that open inward, some open outward. Take a close look at the outward opening doors and just check those sills, check the jambs, check the hinges. Make sure this was the correct application to cover your ass. So anyway, that's it for me for episode 5. You can check out my website, homeinspectionauthority.com, if you're looking to have your home inspected in the Los Angeles area. And you can also find me on YouTube just by searching Home Inspection Authority for some videos that are quite comical, actually, some of my day-to-day findings on the job. And I've got some educational videos on there as well for homeowners and home inspectors. As well, I do have a TikTok account. You can find me there at Home Inspection Authority on TikTok. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed everything, and see you on the next one.